Let's kick off this explainer with a question that's going to completely flip how you probably think about budgeting. What if every single dollar you spent was actually a fraction of your life? Okay, I know, it sounds a little intense, right? But honestly, changing your entire perspective on what money actually is, well, that's literally the first step to mastering it.
So, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving in to demystify the completely overwhelming concept of saving money. And look, this is absolutely crucial right now, because navigating our financial lives can feel, well, paralyzing when we're just given abstract advice. We aren't just going to stare at dry spreadsheets today. We're going to dig into the foundational mindset, the fascinating behavioral science behind it all, and the actual mathematical mechanics of building wealth. Okay, so here's our roadmap for today. We're going to cover 1. Money as life energy. 2. Designing your savings environment. 3. Behavioral hacks to save. 4. Doing the savings math. And finally, 5. Reaching financial independence. Basically, we're taking you from the philosophy of wealth through the subconscious tricks of behavioral economics, right down to the practical math of hitting your goals.
All right, let's jump right into Section 1, Money as Life Energy, a powerful paradigm shift. So, the 9 Steps to Financial Independence program asks us to do something kind of radical. It wants us to redefine money, not just as currency, but as your finite life energy. Think about that deeply for a second. Your life energy is the actual cost in both time and money required just to maintain your job, which translates into your real hourly wage. We're talking about your daily commute sitting in traffic, the specific clothes you have to buy for the office, those takeout lunches because you're just way too tired to cook, even the time you spend decompressing on the weekend just so you can do it all over again. When you subtract all those hidden costs, your actual hourly wage is probably way, way lower than what's on paper.
Now, when you look at it through that lens, minimizing your spending suddenly isn't about restriction, it's about fiercely protecting your life energy instead of just punishing yourself with a strict budget. So, you compute that real hourly wage, you track every single cent that comes in and goes out, and you literally convert the dollars you spend into hours of your life energy. You start asking yourself before every single purchase, hey, did I actually receive fulfillment proportional to the hours of my life I just traded for this? I promise you, it completely changes the way of a frivolous purchase.
Moving on to Section 2, Designing Your Savings Environment, Why It's Hard and How to Fix It.
Because look, let's be totally honest here. Even with the absolute best mindset in the world, saving is undeniably hard. In fact, FDIC data shows that a staggering 35 million households in the US don't even have a savings account. 35 million. Just let that scale sink in for a moment. That tells us something super important. Relying on willpower alone simply isn't going to cut it. Our physical environment plays a massive, almost invisible role in holding us back. To figure out how to bridge this massive gap, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, the CFPB, researched evidence-based strategies to build liquid short-term savings. Their sweeping report focused heavily on how our environments pretty much dictate our financial habits, and they proved something really empowering. If we just change the context, we can absolutely change the outcome. And this leads us to this brilliant concept called choice architecture. So when savings programs use an opt-out default, meaning you're automatically enrolled into a savings account right off the bat, people save significantly more money. Why? Because the environment is doing all the heavy lifting for them. It completely removes the hurdle of active decision-making. You don't have to summon the energy or even remember to save. You just have to actively decide not to. It flips human inertia completely in your favor.
All right, Section 3, Behavioral Hacks to Save, Tricking the Brain into Building Wealth.
So once that environment is set up, researchers have found these fascinating, kind of sneaky subconscious behaviors that dictate how we save. Take the framing effect, for example. Researchers tested the Acorns app and discovered a massive behavioral hack. Pitching a recurring deposit as just $5 a day drove a nearly 30% take-up rate. But when that exact same amount was pitched as $150 a month, only 7% signed up. Think about that. It's the exact same amount of money, but our brains process a $5 daily habit as way less painful than parting with a big monthly chunk. It is wildly irrational, sure, but it is incredibly useful if you frame your own savings goals this way.
Another super clever hack is called anchoring. They saw this in a TurboTax software experiment where simply suggesting higher percentage targets prompted the anchored group to save an average of $20 more of their tax refund than the control group. Just by showing them a higher suggested number, the environment anchored their expectations. And the reason anchoring works so well is that our brains naturally latch onto the very first number we see as a baseline. That initial number subconsciously drives our savings right up.
But hey, what if saving was actually fun? Let's talk about prize-linked savings, or PLS.
This is a strategy that basically plays on our natural love for lotteries to hack our financial growth. So instead of a tiny, predictable standard interest payment, you're actually incentivized with a chance to win significant financial prizes just for keeping your money in the savings account.
The sheer impact of this kind of gamification is literally staggering. It appeals perfectly to our human propensity to overweight small probabilities. We just love the chance of winning big. Check this out. Gamifying the process with a prize vault resulted in Walmart Money Card users saving roughly $600 million in a single year. $600 million! Lab studies show that PLS scenarios increase savings by 25% over standard interest. And maybe the best part? It's highly effective for folks who had absolutely zero prior savings.
Okay, Section 4. Doing the savings math. Executing the goal. So, we've got the motivation and the psychological tricks. Now we actually have to execute the math. To make sure this doesn't feel totally overwhelming, the US government actually has a really straightforward savings goal calculator on investor.gov. This takes all the guesswork out of planning your financial future. It's designed to completely remove the anxiety of financial planning and tell you exactly how much you need to contribute every single month to hit your specific target.
And you only need to plug in 4 simple variables: your desired final savings goal, the initial investment you have readily available right now, the number of years you have to let it grow, and your estimated interest rate. By just plugging in those 4 things, the calculator factors in the compound frequency to give you a concrete, actionable monthly number. Seriously, you don't need a math degree. No more guessing, just clear, achievable math.
Which brings us to Section 5. Reaching financial independence, the ultimate target.
Let's see how all of this builds towards the ultimate goal of the 9-step program. When you combine that profound respect for your life energy with these behavioral hacks and the steady math from the calculator, you're actively reaching what Spiritus Financial Planning champions as Step 8 of your financial transformation. You are moving beyond just saving. You're taking the simple steps toward true financial intelligence, integrity, and independence.
And this brings us to the absolute pinnacle of saving, the crossover point. This is the definition of success here. It's the exact moment your monthly investment income finally rises above your expenses. When you hit this, you get a safe, steady income for life from a source completely other than a job. Basically, you've bought back your time.
So, I want to leave you with this final thought. Once your money is working for you, instead of you working for it, what will you do with your life energy once you finally cross that point?